Continue with Wild Card Weekend with what should be a great one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Giants. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
He'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Third play in this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Brady on the bootleg. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense. Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So that one a disaster, a big loss there with 2nd down coming up. From the gun, Jones. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here's Jones, throwing on 3rd and long. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down. On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. And that is going to be no good. He pushed it wide to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On second down, it's Jones. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Throwing is Brady on third down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you put something out.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. On the counter, here's Jones. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. The cornerback, it's Logan Ryan who brings him down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 39, Brady. And this is incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it'll bring up third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
To throw on third down, Brady. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent. And they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Jones now to throw on third down. Catch made by Slayton. Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Operating from the gun. Jones over the middle, complete to Tate. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. No score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line. And that's where the return stops. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily. I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature.
And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and it finally kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
3rd down.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up 1st downs.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there. Brady now on 1st down. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
On the jet sweep, this is Godwin. And he will lose lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not,
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And he'll get this out to the 30-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. This is Butler making the catch. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 31.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. From the gun, Jones. That's complete to Slayton. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 25 yards there on the catch and run. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Operating from the gun, Jones. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, we know he has pretty good hands on display there. In fact, he only needed one of them.
Yeah, nowadays, all these receivers work on this, right? They do the one-handed catches off the machine in practice. They do it with their quarterbacks. They do it contested, uncontested. They make it part of their repertoire.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal.
From the gun, Jones. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about in the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, one of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. The shotgun, they run with Barkley, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions have plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 27 yards. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0.
It's the score, Giants 14, Buccaneers nothing.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 to score as they regroup with 1st and 10. A 1st down run here by Jones as he'll take it forward for a gain of about 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now,
hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
They'll go again to Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
And my goodness, another interception. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Vita Vea able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Throwing on second and long. Jones. Open man, Butler complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend.
And they're going to get him. He sagged back around the 28. Shaquille Barrett. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. To try again after the sack. Jones escaping the pressure right. That's going to be caught. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
A Hall of Fame coach once said there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or 2. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
This is obviously a critical sequence for this defense if they want to stay in this game. Down 2.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this will get out of bounds at the 2-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. From the gun, Jones. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game. A message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Gano now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score Giants 21, Buccaneers nothing.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10.
Jones with a nice burst there on first down as he'll be taken down, but not before a gain of 7 yards.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3.
Again, it's Jones.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Brady with a quick throw here to Evans out wide.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wildcard matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Brady, he sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, they just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Brady to throw for it on 4th down. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 46. Now left side on the swing pass. I call it no gain there on the 1st down play.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He's got Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans. 42 yards. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this 4th quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Come on! An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
picked up by Ross Cockrell. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. That is the play they needed in a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. And Brady's throw there, incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin. And it's second down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Brady will try again on second down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. That's complete to Butler. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on second down. Jones. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Ndamukong Suh, his second sack of the night. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. From the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
At the 39-yard line.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Hakeem Butler, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And thanks to the interception, the Giants offense cashes in with 6. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And at this point, maybe you say, you know, it was a good effort really just to make the playoffs. They couldn't win their division, but did earn a wild card berth. It does appear, however, that their season is just a few minutes away from ending in one-and-done fashion. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Buccaneers first down.
Shotgun now for Brady. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Tampa Bay.
From midfield, here's Brady. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Brady to throw again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true. And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
A gain of 28 yards there and give them the first down.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's in a full run by the time he gets the football.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And I know it's hard to find solace on one side when the season ends, no matter where it ends, but especially in the playoffs because there's all that build up to the moment. But I would imagine the post-game locker room speech, it'll have a pretty positive spin.
It should. They've made a heck of a run to get to the playoffs and have that chance to advance, even though they didn't. But you're right about how much it's going to hurt.